Hi everyone, this is Pajama Talk and Field at WebExpo conference, and this is second day. We all got a little bit tired because of the party and other stuff. And today my guest is Tomás Escobar. Hi Tomas.
Hi.
And Tomas, you're working at the chatbot agency.
Yeah, I basically have a chatbot agency to help them either business online and offline to help to the digitalization and to adapt to the new era or to the new paradigm, thanks to the helping with chat solutions.
And the chatbot agency sounds, like a federal bureau of agency, like it's a big organization. So, what do you do? Who is your client? So, like, do you work with businesses or just customers? Or
we have like two lines of clients. Digital clients, let's say, people that already have a digital identity, and we help them to catch more customers from social networks because our chatbots are specialized just on Messenger and WhatsApp and in Instagram as well. The three, let's say, branches of Facebook. So we help them. It's not the traditional chatbot that is like customer service oriented. It's more like to try to catch people from social network and convert what is supposed to be like a follower in a customer. So this is the journey that we help them through the chat marketing.
So we are at the WebExpo, and what was your talk or workshop? I know that you gave a workshop.
It was about how to build exactly a chatbot for Instagram. We were going through the journey, how to start something really simple, just to take somebody from your Instagram community and make them join your email list and your external community. And later we were doing like 12, 13 iteration of this to improve, because the talk was about a chatbot that converts. So we were focused in following the Facebook rules and make the conversion better and better and better. So it's based on real case study that we have done with customers.
And about Instagram and Facebook in general, or any other big social networks, I know that they are not that welcoming around using their APIs, and like, is chatbot safe to use in social networks?
They are totally safe because it's like we are based on the API of Facebook. So the chatbot got a really bad reputation in the last year because they were using it in the really wrong way, and it was chatbot Instagram. They think immediately follow and this type of stuff, and it's totally other way. It's really based on Facebook. So we are using platforms that are partnered with Facebook. They meet weekly with Facebook. So we are totally playing safe. It's one of the things that I try to make the customers understand more, that it's totally by Facebook with the Facebook law in the hand, let's say, and really doable and legally doable.
And sometimes chatbots, they can be a bit noisy for the customer. For example, I want to, usually in tech support, I would like to ask some question, and chatbot will constantly ask me yada yada yada, what's the name, or any other things. What do you think? Like, for an organization using chatbot as a customer, I feel like they don't care much about me, because instead of human being, instead of living person, I should conversate with chatbot, with robot. Is it like not customer care if you use chatbot?
I have one sentence always I like to say that it's my own definition of chatbot. And it's the definition to have a chatbot that is 100% successful. And how is it? You have to find two main points. The first one, that the customer have to feel a benefit in time, money, or user experience. And the second one is that yourself as a company need to have a feel of improvement on money, time, or experience. If you are able to have this both sides, the customer will be incredibly happy because you are going to solve the problem faster or better. And you as a company, you will be incredibly happy because you are, let's say, getting better benefits and saving time. So at the end, it's like you have to find this mutual benefit.
Speaking about chatbots, so do you reuse any open source software, because there are plenty of APIs for chatbots, or is it something you build from scratch?
We are playing only with Facebook and Messenger, let's say Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, all the Facebook environment. We have to use fourthly, the Facebook API. So I use a third platform, it's called ManyChat. We are like partnered with them, and I'm the only official educator in the Czech Republic and in Spain. We are like only around 60 in the world. So we are like really closely working with them. And I say, why did you reinvent the wheel when somebody provides you this tool already? And the other benefit of these tools is that you already have your CMR built there. So each customer that interacts once with yourself, you already have the data that Facebook provides you. So you can re-communicate with them.
Right now it's 2021, machine learning, artificial intelligence, other stuff. So chatbots right now at this moment, can they kind of completely replace human, or they're still kind of robotic and they can answer some questions and that's it?
I like to say that we build chat automation and chat solutions, not chatbot, because I always try to avoid the word chatbot, no? Because at the end it's like not well known. What I mean with that a chat solution have to have a chatbot touch and a human touch.
Yeah.
So there are some points when the human needs to intervene, but only what we try to do is that your intervention as a human is going to be the most profitable part of the equation.
Yeah.
So we are going to filter and avoid 90% of the communications that are not going to be profitable for your company, and we are going to make you focus your time in what is really profitable for yourself. So this is the approach that I like to take.
Previously, I don't know, 20 years ago, not 20, okay, 15 years ago, before all these instant messengers arrived, we had emails, or we have like actual mails, and there was a standard of business language. You cannot use smiles or emojis in the business letter. But then we slightly shifted to instant messengers, and right now this border between my personal contacts, so I speak to my wife in chats, and I speak to my boss in the same chat, and that means that language kind of mixed, so I can use, even in the business, like messengers, I can use emojis, smileys. Is it true, or in the chatbots or in this chat industry, you still have to use like a business tone of voice as a company?
We are invading some personal space here, you know, when you are chatting to somebody. So you have to try to make as smoothly as possible. So you have to try to camouflage your business conversation inside of a normal conversation. So the person will not, oh, this is a message from a company. So have to adapt really to the environment. So if people are using, your general audience is some age that they use emojis, emojis, gift, adapt to a small conversation, because as well, it's not like email that is unidirectional. Here it's like bidirectional. So it's like all the time the conversation has to flow. Because if you have like a conversation that I ask you to answer, you will get familiar with my company. And once I ask you for something more beneficial for my part of like a company, you will be willing to follow that. So you have to take in consideration all these, let's say, non-written rules of the chat conversation. And once you adapt to that, it's gonna go really well.
But for example, some like serious bank with money, with suits, with bow ties, what do you think? Can they use chats and speak informally, or you have clients that even in chats, even in instant messengers, they like wearing the suit?
It's important to know what is the message that your brand want to give. So if you want to give a message like, yeah, you are really professional, so you have to take care of the copy that you do. Don't use emojis, don't use the stuff, and use like more serious image. So of course you have to merge somehow the image of the customer, or how it should be perceived, and the message in the platform. So it's a bit, at the end it's trial and error. You will see what is working better. You have like to do a lot of A/B tests, and you will see how the people react, and according to that you will be adapting. You always, once we create a chatbot strategy, we need several, like we do the first trial and later improvement. So normally once we start, we can, let's say, deal with the 60-65% of conversation well. After 3 months, we can reach 90% of the conversation handled by the automation.
Back in the days, back in old days, all communication was asynchronous and like with a huge delay. You are, maybe except of the calls, except of the phone calls. You're sending an email or regular mail, you can wait because email there. If you don't answer email for 1 hour, it's totally okay. But messengers, they shifted us. We shifted to because they called instant messengers. And again, what do you think? Is it kind of a bit intrusive for our work-life balance? Because, for example, I have chat with my wife, and of course, she expects that I answer immediately. But if you have on the same phone, you have your business contacts in the same Facebook, in the same messenger, it means that it's hard to distinguish between work, life, personal contacts, business contacts.
It's true that at the end you are playing in the same environment, but each time more and more the social networks are used like a customer service platform.
Yeah.
You are buying more things through social network. You are, I don't know, dealing with daily stuff in your social network. So at the end, is where we live, how many hours we spend in social networks. So at the end, you are doing everything there.
Yeah.
As well, the business are there. If the business are there, you need to react. And according to what you say, that the fast reaction is a statistic that says that if business is able to answer in the first 5 minutes, we'll have 365% more in average of conversion. So it's really important to take care of this answer fast to the customer.
That's a lot. This whole industry right now, we see in China, there is a WeChat application, and it's super up. You can purchase food there, you can talk there, you can make calls, you can do whatever. Is it a trend? So we see in Facebook, there is and Facebook is a big umbrella brand these days. And what do you think about super applications where you can do everything?
This is what inspired me to do what I do.
Yeah.
After living 1 year in China and come back to Europe, I was seeing that I used WeChat there, and I saw what it's capable to do. And in 2016, in the F8, Facebook started to talk about the liberation of the API of Messenger. I said, oh, wait, I had the opportunity to come from the future and to start to build here something there. So I like always to have one eye in China, because this application is showing us where is the future. Just 3 days ago, Facebook announced that you can log in Messenger through third applications.
Wow.
So what does it mean? That we will be able soon to build embed applications in the web view of the browser of Messenger. So this is going to be the first step to start to do what you really mentioned, build the application like WeChat do. This is what I think that means. So we are in the way to that.
Google, I don't remember, maybe 2 years ago they introduced a new technology where robots, so you want, for example, make an appointment in a barbershop. So you ask your Google Assistant, and it will call to this barbershop and ask with a robotic voice, "Hello, my owner wants to make an appointment." And on the other hand, as a business, you have a chatbot. Will we see in the future that you will say, "Okay, Google," or "Okay, Facebook, please book me something, a cinema ticket." And chatbot from my side, for the customer side, will call your chatbot from the business side, and they will converse.
They will have the conversation.
Yeah.
I think in the future we will not even see that. So it will be like the hidden conversation that is just done for you, and you don't know how it is done. So I see really big way of evolution, but this will be in a long time. About the voice messages, I think it's something, and I know that the company I'm partnered with, ManyChat, they are considering this. So they have always one eye in what is gonna come.
The world of messengers is really different in different countries. Some countries they prefer Facebook. Some countries like China, they prefer WeChat. For example, in Russia and other countries, people prefer Telegram. So this whole diversity of applications and instant messengers. And right now you work only for Facebook. So do you have plans to empower your customer base or work with different chats?
I have planned to narrow it more even, and to have some specific niche and serve them really, really well. One that I want to explore that we are not working with them yet, and we are preparing some nice stuff for e-commerce, because Facebook partnered with Shopify months ago, and they start to introduce all the e-commerce environment inside of all these applications. I think we are going to see a lot of the chatbots in the e-commerce web.
The giant corporations, Google, Apple, Facebook, are you afraid of this kind of anti-utopian future where big corporation will rule the world. Because right now, for example, Facebook, if they ban you or delete your account, it can be really painful. I read one story. One guy was banned for some reason. I'm not sure why, but he was banned in Airbnb and Booking.com. And just imagine you're going to a different location, to different city, and it is extremely, or Uber will ban you or delete your account. And that means that you will not able to do anything, almost anything. Are you afraid of big brands?
They already are somehow having the power of communication, and that is the new currency, I think, the information and the communication, the real currency. But what I like, or I try to do with my customers, at least, is to have them in a range of many ways of communication. So the fact that we do, once we start a conversation with the customer in Messenger, is to try to put them as well, Telegram, mailing, SMS. So we have like 4 different ways of communication. If tomorrow Facebook ban, for any reason, cut the way of communication, we have other 4th way of communication with them. So I think it's really essential to have an omni-channel strategy. Other way, you are lost. You cannot put all your business in hand of one of these big corporations.
Do you make calls, like phone calls? Because I believe these days, no one. So if someone is calling you, that means it's either your bank or like old school, old police or whatever. Because usually people, we're not calling. Or maybe what is your experience in that?
We use each day more the phone. And we call less. I think in few months or few years, it's gonna be removed the option of big calling. I don't use it. Either with the family. Think that I can use maybe video call, but a call itself, as you say, is something wrong. It's like, oh, what's going on here?
And like, I always laughing that mobile operators, they're like, okay, we have new tariff, 200 hours of calls or whatever. Like, I have an internet, I can call without using your data or something like this.
Doesn't have any sense anymore.
Or like SMS. What was the last time you used SMS?
I lost conversation because I don't know where is my SMS folder in the phone. And the other day, somebody called me because I was looking for a flat. Somebody called me, but I sent you few SMSs. Like, few what? It's like I even don't have the push notification of the SMS anymore in the phone.
So right now we're using this thing like 8 hours per day, maybe 12 hours per day. So does it mean that we are? And as you can see in subway or in elevator. People they just stand like this. They don't conversate anymore. And I've seen funny picture. Friend of mine, we were at the party and they were chatting to each other. So they sitting next to each other. They were chatting because it was more convenient.
Look, one of the statistics I was sharing yesterday in my presentation, that is one of the I like the most. Is like 6 out of 10 people in a physical shop. Imagine I am going to buy my shoes or I am going to buy whatever. They prefer to interact with the tool, with the phone, to ask for the feature of the object that they are gonna buy, than with the customer service physically on the shop. So imagining the level we are. So this is really important to cover all these things, because what happened? If they are gonna look for the information, probably they are gonna find that other shop or other place that is giving you this information through the phone, through the chat, having better products, so you are gonna lose them. So even if you have the people already physically in your store, you need to take care of them through chat or through any sort of mobile application. It's unbelievable.
But does it mean that we are kind of, maybe that's because of the big cities and big stress, so you're so tired of thousands and millions of people around you, so it's better to stick to your phone?
I don't know why, but the tendency is true that we are like more social but less social, no? Everything is about social network, whatever, and we are in the time that we are less social in the history, I think. For this, I like this type of events or things that we can interact physically with people. It's like
we have a opening like icebreaker. So if you go on to stage, you can say to the audience, sorry, I'm really nervous because it was my first time after 1.5 years when I speak with my pants on. Oh, it's a bit.
This is true. The half-body Zoom calls.
Because like Zoom calls, I can sit in whatever I want. I can disable camera. So And round it up, what do you think? What is the future of communication and where to look at? So if I'm a like entrepreneur or CIO, I have a business. So what is the future? What should I stick to?
I think that the future and where is everything pointing is, of course, through the smartphone, one-to-one, and personalization. As more focus on the customer, you take more care of any information for small that they give it to you, and you are able to reuse it and reframe all the communication you have to your customer using this information that you are able to smartly catch and put one-to-one conversation that the user will feel like, wow, they touch me, they know me. That's the way, I think.
Thank you, Tomas, for being here. It was a pleasure to shake your hand, like physically, not. But I will send you a shaking hands emoji.
We will send some emojis, no?
Yeah. Our interview should be like this. We're just sitting here and conversating. Thank you very much, and thank you.